exciting edition of We've Got Issues. You are not ready for what we have for you today. We are going back in time into one of your favorite comic books to talk about our comic book issues. I am Agent E, and on the couch today we've got Emmanuel Ozor, who everyone calls One Art. Check this. He's an agricultural engineer working with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in Abuja, Nigeria. But he's also the artist, the illustrator, the colorist behind the amazing book Galactic Core. If you're thinking Star Trek, Power Rangers, all of the fun things that you fell in love with as a kid, this is that on steroids. Thank you for your time today, Emmanuel Ozor. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Agent E. I'm glad to be here.
Great. Let's get into it. So, I started my week with Galactic Core, obviously because this interview, right? So I started reading from the very beginning to the end, and what a fantastic book that is. I mean, I felt like I was watching something from the days of Star Trek, the days of Power Rangers. And then I was reading, and the next thing I saw was Aussie. So I'm like, is that Igbo in there? Tell me about this book that has got worlds together and has still managed to keep a bit of Africa history and heritage inside of it.
Uh, well, ever since I was growing up, I was fascinated with sci-fi, specifically sci-fi, military, and space exploration. I was influenced by shows such as Star Trek, Star Wars, Galaxy Trio, Galaxy Rangers, Power Rangers, and Avengers. So I thought to myself, why don't I like combine all of these into something that I love and cherish? And to top it off, add a bit of African element into it because I found out that there's not really any concrete um, African sci-fi. I mean, the only popular African sci-fi I could think of is Black Panther, and that just came out 2018. So we have to work out of that. So I was thinking that was the perfect time to create an Afrofuturistic uh, comic book, such as Galactic Core. So that's just it.
Wow. And that book is such a beautiful book. The very first episode of it, you already see the battle. I mean, it doesn't even waste time. You just get into the very first, I think it was like from page 2, they're already fighting each other. I mean, it was fantastic and really beautiful to read. So I thought I was going to ask you this question. If you had to go to battle and you could only take one member of the Galactic Core with you, who will you choose and why?
That's a tricky question. Um, I'll have to choose Endrom Zero.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, Raybird. I thought you were going to say Raybird.
Sorry?
I thought you were going to say Raybird.
Raybird. No. The reason why I chose Endrom Zero is because, well, he he's he's a cosmic blade master. I mean, mastered it all. He has gone from different planets to different planets, learning different forms of combat, different forms of swordplay, and his most dangerous ability is his foresight. He can predict where danger is coming. He's kind of like a spider sense. He can know when the danger is coming, any physical danger, though he's still susceptible to uh, telepathic attacks, but anything physical, he'll know about it in an instant. And when you're fighting with him, he can know your weakness at any point. That is why he was able to defeat his enemy just like that. You know. Um, Again, he uses a special type of sword called a trans blade. It can morph into any blade he can think about. So if anybody wants to take him on in a sword battle, it's going to be a very short one, and it's going to come up on top. So yeah,
Oh,
I'll choose
yeah.
him.
It's going to be a very short one with a clear
Yeah.
winner. I like that. So, for someone
Hmm.
who has never read Galactico and who is wondering, what are they on about? What are they talking about? How will you explain it? How will you explain Galactico to, say, a 5-year-old who has never read any of the books? And what would you tell them to expect from the future episodes?
Well, Galactical is about a team of cosmic peacekeepers. Okay, they mostly deal with preserving galactic peace. Okay, their job is to make sure that uh, they stop or hinder uh, any galactic war, any planetary invasion, anything that can cause massive genocide to any aliens. You know, in other words, they mostly take on galactic threats, not planetary threats like the Avengers, like their bad guys are robbing a bank or some evil scientist is trying to take over a country or the planet or something like that. They deal The Galactic Core deals with very bigger and expansive threats, like let's say an alien conqueror who wants to invade a planet, a mad god who wants to take control of the entire galaxy, something like that. Some type of alien race that feeds off on sentient life forms. So, those type of threats that nobody really talks about. So that's why I decided to create a team who was diverse and uh, practical, in space combat. What powers could be useful in this kind of area? What powers could be good in that area? So yeah, that is how they gel together and work as a team perfectly.
Wow, fantastic. For anyone who hasn't read Galactico, I promise you, I know I should say that, but it is a very lovely book. From the very first episode, you're pulled in and you want to read each and every one till the very end. So just to say a special thank you to Emmanuel Ozor for coming on our virtual couch today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time. I remain Agent E, your host. Remember, we've got issues, thousands of pages of comic book issues. Find them, read them, love them.